in this week's chronicles of what's wrong with my girlfriend's car. Well, first I gotta install her airbox. It's been running only that a week. This stupid sensor's leaking. So I gotta steal it from the purple one and stop leaking it. Making it leak. Take a leak. Fred's here. And I got Pizarski and a bunch of other people that are coming later. So, well, I just took out the sensor. And I just replaced the new one. That literally took like 10 seconds. So I'm just gonna bleed the system, or burp the system like everybody says. It's really weird. And then she'll be able to send it. Ain't that right, Fred?
Another day, another beer.
So, fixed Vivi's Beamer. And now we're eating pizza.
Pizza. Was it broken today?
The coolant temp sensor was leaking, so...
Oh, really? It's a Beamer, it's always broken.
Est-ce que le footage est comme, like, really nice right now?
Because of me.
Boom. Everybody say happy birthday, Gab. Because it was
yesterday.
It was his birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday to you,
Mr. President. Mr. President. Qu'est-ce que je chantais tout à l'heure?
Don't quit your day job, man.
Yeah. Hey guys, so last night I had a whole bunch of people over. Fred, Alex, Pizarski, Palmer brothers, Curtis, Ryan was here, Gab, my girlfriend. Anyways, I didn't really film anything today. It was like a relaxed day. As you guys can tell, look at all these messages. I really didn't look at my phone, and now I'm going to a cabana sick. I don't know what that is in English. So
no.
My girlfriend's like, no, we gotta go, like now. So I just started the fires and we're going. But tomorrow I'll be filming, so, well, when I get back tomorrow, we'll be filming. All right, peace out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. What's up, homies? So I didn't really film yesterday because I got home at like I got home at midnight last night, so I didn't film. I didn't have my computer on me, so that's why the video came out like at midnight when I got home. And yeah, Fred didn't come this weekend other than the party that we kind of had, so he didn't get much work done on his car. He was supposed to take the hood, but he didn't, so I don't know what's up with that. I think I'm gonna do my hood pins on the hood, so I gotta take off my external wastegate dump right there, that pipe, just because I'm gonna have to cut a hole on the hood. I'm gonna clear up all the stuff and then put the hood back on so I can drill out the hood pins. Alright, got the external wastegate dump off so you guys can see. I got the hood bolted on and I dropped it a couple of times on this just to make a little scratch mark. So I got one here and I got one there. I don't know if you could see that. Anyways, and I'm gonna have to drill a hole, and then I just found out my dad has my grinder and he has my drill. So I'm gonna have to go see my dad. And then we're gonna have to come back and do that later. I don't know if I'll do it tonight. Another thing is I'm probably gonna go in the house and talk. I know I've been talking a lot of shit about AEM, and it's mostly a running joke for me, going through all a bunch of shit basically. So I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about AEM soon, and what to know and what to expect when you buy a standalone ECU and decide to do it yourself at home for the first time. What's up, dudes? I got myself, my girlfriend got me a lamp because she watched one of my videos and she saw that I was looking for a lamp. Thank you, baby. So nice of you. So yeah, I'm not talking shit about AEM. I'm just messing around with them because it was a learning process for me to go through all that buying the AEM used from my buddy, GS. No instructions, nothing. So I had to figure out, like I knew, okay, AEM, EMS-4. It's not their top of the line Infinity or anything. It's only good for cars with up to 4 injectors. So I knew that this was like, okay, it's gonna work for either the Evo, the beams or something. So right off the bat, I knew that I couldn't do like a RB or anything like that with this ECU. So I was like, that's cool. I'm not running any 6-in-line or V8s or whatever. I'm only running 4 cylinders. The biggest thing was not having any instructions on like what it can or cannot be used for. Like just for one, when I was doing it with the beams, I didn't know that it couldn't do dual VVTi because it has 2 cam sensors and 2 VVTi solenoids. I could have kind of rigged it to go, but it's more like an on and off instead of a variable valve timing, which is what VVTi stands for. And on top of that, it wasn't really good for the beams, just because also it only does 1 mag, cam, and crank sensor, whereas a Hall you can set up as one of the GPIO pins. So I got the manual off AEM website, and one of the big problems is the thing is 279 pages. So I didn't read it, right? So I read as much as I could on what I needed to do. Basically the pinouts and just trying to get it done. Another thing is when I bought it from GS, he was Miata, so he had no knock sensor. He had no vehicle speed sensor. His cam and crank sensor were on Hall. So I unpinned them, put it in, and the GPIO pins, he didn't really have any. So I had a hard time finding these little pins here. So I'll tell you right off the bat, go on Amazon, write Delphi Micro Pack 100W series female unsealed terminals, part number 12084912. Cable range is about 18 gauge. So right off the bat, this was like, okay, and there's a special like crimper that you have to use to do this. So I didn't do that the first time around. I didn't do the crimper, and I had a problem with the power wires being a little loose in it. And also I think it was with 14 gauge, so it didn't fit well inside the connectors. So I had a bad time with that. Second thing to note is the crank trigger wheel thing. So on every engine you have a bunch of different tooth on the crank trigger wheel that the crank sensor reads, and it goes around in circles to know exactly where top dead center is, right? So that's how your engine runs basically. 2 problems I had was I just pure luck found out to get the beams one running that it was a 36-2. So I think it was like 36 teeth, 2 missing or something like that. I don't remember exactly how it works. But at the same time, as much as I could get the beams running with the AEM, the dual VVTi thing was really messing it up, and that my pins inside the connectors were really bad. One of the reasons I had went with the AEM ECU is I couldn't get it started with the stock ECU. All because my crank sensor, when I went to do a couple donuts, the engine mounts shifted and pulled the crank sensor wire out, so it wasn't making a connection. So the big thing is that my crank sensor wasn't plugged in, so I couldn't start the car. So going straight with the AEM was a bad idea, especially that it was running with the stock ECU and then I couldn't get it running again. There was a small problem, so it probably was not the ECU the problem. I should have figured it out way before putting the AEM ECU on. So I got the beams running with the stock ECU this summer. Ran super great, it was super reliable, started every single time turnkey, had no problems, and that's what I'll be running on the beams ECU. Whatever chassis I decide to put the beams in is going to be running that stock ECU, and if I definitely want to go turbo, so they sell a Gritty E-Manage that you can just plug in or splice into the stock ECU harness and control the, I think it's timing, I believe it's timing, fuel maps and stuff like that. Anyways, there's a specific one that works for beams, which I can get, and I've already saved all the links. We'll talk more about the beams and RB or whatever and all that more in the future. Not there right now. So when I got the beams running, I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this AEM ECU? Either I sell it at a loss because I paid it kind of expensive for what it is right now. I believe right now, if I check by, right now it's $598. Part number 306905 on the AEM website, where I paid $850, I believe, Canadian. It's roughly the same price, so I would have lost, basically. So I kept the ECU, and I decided I was going to run it on the Evo 5 engine, which again was kind of like, okay, I got this ECU, I better just use it, when I could have just ran the stock ECU, the Evo 5 ECU, which is tunable. I can flash it and make a tune and everything. Should have done that, it would have been a lot simpler. Just had to modify the harness for the map and GM map, IAT, and I think that's it. Oh yeah, and the coil on plug setup, because the Evos run two coil packs with in series. I still haven't got the Evos started. I haven't messed around with any of the tune or anything. I think also that I have huge air leaks because the intake has like a bunch of little plugs and stuff that I haven't plugged yet. So there's massive massive boost leaks if you want. So I'm gonna get the intake all done. I'm gonna get my intercooler piping all done in the next couple of weeks, and we'll try and start it again. The other thing is AEM ECU. Not only AEM, but a lot of other ECU companies like Mega Squared or whatever. So if I say, oh, AEM, no, Mega Squared 2, I would have had to do this. They only run high impedance injectors, which right now my Precision Turbo and the stock Evo ones are low impedance. So I have to get new injectors, which I was like, wish I knew this way before. So I'm gonna have to get new injectors. I don't know why it gives you an option to run the stock crank and cam sensor on an Evo, because obviously it doesn't work. And even if you do get it to work, you'll have to like crank it forever for it to like actually start up, because it's because the trigger wheel on the crank is only like 2. So I had to buy a Keegley Racing 12, a billet piece 12 teeth wheel, and replace the crank sensor with a cam sensor. Anyways, there's like a harness and everything to make it a cam sensor. So now that the trigger wheel is fixed, the next thing that I needed to do basically is the injectors. I also had to modify the cam trigger wheel because it has 2 teeth, and I had to cut one of the teeth off. It's like a bunch of stuff which I needed to know beforehand. I put the engine in and then I had to take it out, and then it's just like a hassle. So just make sure you guys have the right crank wheel on the crank trigger wheel and the cam trigger wheel, just to make sure that everything fires. So right now I'm going to be running a tune. It's a 12 tooth trigger wheel with no missing teeth on the crank, 1 cam trigger wheel on the cam. So it's a 12-to-1, which they have a bass tune on. All you got to do is basically set up your wizard with all the coil packs you're running. I'm running right now, it's Toyota Corolla coil packs, I believe. I might have to check and see if I have to go get a Toyota Echo or Honda Civic D17, I believe. There's a bunch of different ones you can choose. Another thing is I'm running a GM-4 bar map, but there's no option for the GM-4 bar map. So either I have to upgrade to an Omni bar map or get the proper GM bar map that works with the ECU. I believe it's a 3 bar map that I have to get. So it's a lot of like different little things that add up at the end, that if I knew in advance, I would have just sticked with the stock ECU, right? And sold AEM. But I do like AEM a lot. I want to support their products. Right now I got the ECU, I got their wideband. I'm thinking of getting the CD7 Dash. It's a little pricey, but at the same time it's really cool, and like it's plug and play in my ECU, and then it'll just, you get it with the GPS sensor, so you can have your speedometer and everything. You can program it with different little flashes, and the guy at SEMA is really, really good. He was showing me the stuff and I was just like, yeah, I really want this. So yeah, definitely check out their products. And like there's 2 reviews, if you go on their website, there's 2 reviews from Super Street from like way long ago. I think it'd be really cool if AEM came out with like a video series of how to actually go about to make their products more available for the end user, us. basically right now, I feel it's more of like a high performance shop or like a specific tuning shop that would be able to take this, install it in a car, and just you go on your merry way. Whereas like a person like me, which I'm a learning person, and I learn everything myself by reading on forums, and it's a lot of time. The more time that's in the garage being worked on and stuff is less time that I'm on the track, and which is why I'm kind of I got rid of the S14 because, okay, getting rid of the S14. The guy hasn't come to pick it up yet. Hope he comes to pick it up soon. The reason why I'm getting rid of the S14 is just because it's street playable and it's a street car, right? And I'm not going to use the S14 as a street car ever. So I'm getting a chassis which is drift ready. It's got a cage and everything in it. I just got to choose an engine, put it in, and have it be project seat time, or Fred doesn't like the word project because he's like, if it's a project, it's never going to run. So we're just going to call it seat time machine or something like that. Basically, drop an engine in it and be able to go drifting every weekend, because that's the goal this summer. I know Fred wants to do a west out trip to go Calgary, Vancouver, and then come back, finish it up with Ontario and Quebec. I'd really like to do Florida and then go to Texas and a lot of Ontario and Quebec drifting. And maybe next year would be more like west out, California and stuff like that. I love Cali, really do. So yeah, so I hope this helps you guys a little bit about what to expect when you buy AEM ECU, just to make sure you have all your supporting mods to go with the ECU. So you got your right injectors that work with the ECU, right coil packs that work with the ECU. I'm thinking of getting those, it's called a dumb coil from AEM. It's their own like coil unplug pack, which is like coil, and you put the wire that goes in. I was thinking to do that. So the right coils, injectors, right cam crank sensors that you have to either make it sure they're Hall or mag or whatever. Just make sure you have all your supporting mods to go with the ECU, and then you can run their base tunes. If you have problems, you can go on their forum. I mean, I think a forum type basis thing is not really the way to go nowadays, because nobody has time to go on forums or like go through pages of forums and multiple steps and just keep going on and just keep reading. It's really hassle. Like back in the day when like Facebook and the social media wasn't really big, forum was the shit, right? Like you'd go on the forum and be like, I gotta scroll through these 10 pages to find this one little connector to see all the pinout. But nowadays it's really like, we want the information now, we got no time to lose. The more time we're in the garage, less time we're at the track, and we just want to get out to the track. So with that said, I think if AEM did one video a week to show their products, how to basically do bass tunes and like setting up wiring, because I think they've done a couple of videos where it's like plug and plays, but most of their stuff is not for plug and plays. Like my personal stuff, it's a custom wiring harness, what kind of things you should, plugs and connectors and solder and all that you should use, bass tunes, how to get it started, so you can put it on the trailer, bring it to the tuner, get that thing tuned by either, like people professional like Cal. I'm definitely bringing mine to Cal for now, is who I have my trust in. Really good guy, nice guy, and yeah. I know I didn't do much work on the Evo or anything really in the garage. I was gonna, but then like it was just party after party, right? New Year, and like I think I gained like 5-10 pounds just eating all that chicken and ragout de poulet and beef and this and that. So I'm leaving you off here, and I hope you found this video helpful a bit. I'll definitely see you guys in the next video. Hit a like, hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.